20th, mate. Lap after lap, our Kiwi legend Shane van Gisbergen sat there at Kansas Speedway watching Tyler Reddick and Kyle Larson disappear into the Kansas sunset like he was driving a shopping trolley with a flat tire. Tyler Reddick took the checkered flag, Larson was right on his gearbox, and SVG buried in 20th, fighting a car that had absolutely no business being on the same racetrack as the Hendrick Chevrolets. And here's the thing that should make every ANZAC fan absolutely filthy. This wasn't bad luck. This wasn't a rookie mistake. This was the moment, the exact moment that Rick Hendrick supposedly picked up the phone, because what we're hearing out of the Charlotte paddock right now is fair dinkum massive. The bloke who won 3 Supercars championships and embarrassed the entire Cup field at the Chicago Street Race on debut is about to get the car he actually deserves. And it's not in 2026, it's 2027. It's the number 48, and it changes everything. So buckle up, because today on NASCAR Nation Decoded, we're cracking open the SVG to Hendrick mega deal, and we're going to show you exactly why Kansas was the final straw that tipped the world's best road racer into the arms of the most powerful team in stock car racing. Let's talk facts. SVG has 7 Cup Series wins. 7. That puts him in elite company, but here's the kicker that the American media won't tell you. Every single one of those wins came on a road course or street circuit. Watkins Glen, Chicago, Sonoma, the Charlotte Roval, you name it. The bloke is untouchable when there's a right-hand turn involved, but put him on an oval, it's a horror show. Through most of 2025, the man couldn't crack a top 10 on an oval to save his life. And while he's improved in 2026, that 6th at Echo Park was a ripper. The Kansas result tells the real story. Now, the lazy take is, oh, he's just a road racer, he can't do ovals. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. The real problem, it's the gear. Trackhouse Racing runs ECR engines that's Earnhardt Childress racing power plants, and mate, in 2026, that's like bringing a butter knife to a gunfight. Think of it this way. Imagine you've got the world's greatest Formula One driver, right? Now stick him in a Holden Commodore with a dodgy turbo against a McLaren. He's still going to drive his guts out, but he is not winning. That's SVG every single Sunday on an oval. The Hendrick cars, Larson, Byron, Elliott, they've got the rocket motors. The Toyotas at JGR have caught up. And poor old Trackhouse, they're getting hand-me-downs from RCR, and RCR themselves are struggling. But wait, it gets crazier. Because here's the stat that should make your blood absolutely boil. In 2026, Trackhouse Racing's top 10 finish rate on ovals is one of the worst in the Chevrolet camp. The Spire cars, which use Hendrick engines and Hendrick data, are running circles around Trackhouse, same brand, same body, completely different result. So is it sabotage? Nah, I'm not going there. But is it a structural failure that's actively destroying a world-class talent's prime years? Absolutely. SVG turns 37 next year. He doesn't have a decade to wait for Trackhouse to figure out their oval program. Every Sunday, he rolls off in 25th. That's another Sunday. His career window closes a little bit more. And Rick Hendrick, the man who's won 14 Cup championships as an owner, he sees it. The whole garage sees it. You've got a generational road course talent stuck in a midfield car while a 19-year-old wonder kid named Connor Zilisch is being parachuted in beside him. Something's got to give. And at Kansas, when SVG crossed that line in 20th place with a face like a smacked bottom, that was the moment the dam broke. Right, quick pause. If you're watching this from Auckland, from Sydney, from Brisbane, from Christchurch, anywhere across the ditch, listen up. We are building something here. NASCAR Nation Decoded is the only channel telling the SVG story with proper ANZAC eyes, not American spin, not Charlotte gossip, real talk. So smash that subscribe button, hit the bell, and drop a Kiwi or Aussie flag emoji in the comments below so we can see how many of you are out there, because this isn't just a YouTube channel. This is a movement to get our bloke into the car he deserves. Every subscriber is one more voice telling Rick Hendrick, we're watching, we're loud. And we want SVG in that number 48. Let's go. All right, now to the juicy bit, the Hendrick connection. because this is where the conspiracy stops being a conspiracy and starts looking like a done deal. Here's the lay of the land. Alex Bowman, the current driver of the number 48 Ally Chevrolet, is on the rocks. He missed multiple races in 2026 with health issues. He's sitting deep in the standings. His contract situation is, let's just say, delicate. And the whispers out of Concord, North Carolina have been getting louder for months. Bowman might be out at the end of 2026. Source, NASCAR.com. Now, the names being floated for that number 48 seat: Corey Day, the dirt prodigy, and wait for it, Shane van Gisbergen. And it gets crazier, because Ally Bank, the title sponsor on the number 48, has been bleeding casual fans for years. Bowman, fair play to the bloke, is a quiet, no-drama driver. He doesn't move merchandise. He doesn't generate headlines. SVG, the Kiwi, sells out grandstands. He turned Chicago street race into a cultural moment. He's got the entire Southern Hemisphere watching NASCAR for the first time in history. Tell me, if you're Ally, if you're a bank trying to attract young international customers, who are you writing the check for? The bloke finishing 22nd every weekend, or the Kiwi legend who just turned Watkins Glen into his personal lounge room? The timeline makes perfect sense too. SVG has a multi-year contract with Trackhouse. We've all seen the J-Ski chart: Steven Doran, Jockey, Red Bull, the lot. But contracts in NASCAR are about as solid as a chocolate teapot when Rick Hendrick comes knocking with a blank check and a championship-winning car. 2026 is the bridge year. SVG stays at Trackhouse, gets his oval reps in, builds the relationship behind the scenes. Then in 2027, the move happens. The Kiwi steps into the most iconic number in modern NASCAR, the number 48, made famous by Jimmy Johnson, and the championship clock officially starts. That's not a rumor. That's a structural inevitability, and Kansas was the moment. SVG himself probably said yes. But here's the wrinkle, the plot twist, the bit nobody's talking about. Trackhouse just signed Connor Zilisch to the full-time Cup ride in 2026. He's 19, he's got 7 Xfinity wins. He's being called the next Kyle Larson, and he's now sitting in the garage right next to SVG. Now think about that from SVG's perspective. You're 36. You've conquered supercars. You came to America to win a championship, not to be a road course specialist. And suddenly your team owner, Justin Marks, is putting all his chips on a teenage prodigy. Where do you reckon the new engines go first? Where does the best crew chief end up? Where does the development budget flow? It's not malicious, it's just business. Zilisch is the future Trackhouse is selling to sponsors. SVG, brilliant as he is the road course ace they bolted on for marketing in 2024. The internal hierarchy has flipped, and the Kiwi has read the room. And get this, fair dinkum bombshell sources close to the team have noted SVG's body language at recent oval races has changed. The post-race interviews have gone from "we'll figure it out" to short-clipped professional answers. That's a bloke whose foot is already half out the door. Rick Hendrick smells blood in the water, and he's done this before. Remember when he nicked Kyle Larson off Chip Ganassi? Same playbook. Identify the world-class talent stuck in a B-tier ride, wait for the frustration to peak, then strike. Kansas was peak frustration. The strike is coming, so here's my verdict. And I'll cop the comments however they land. By the end of 2026, Alex Bowman either retires, takes a part-time role, or moves to a smaller team. The number 48 Ally Chevrolet opens up, and in January 2027, Hendrick Motorsports announces Shane van Gisbergen as the new driver of the most iconic number in NASCAR. The Kiwi finally gets the rocket motor, the elite engineering, the championship caliber crew. Watch the oval numbers transform overnight, because the talent was never the problem. The gear was. And when that happens, every ANZAC fan watching this right now will remember Kansas. The 20th place finish, the frustration, the moment our bloke decided enough was enough. But here's where I need you, mate. Drop it in the comments. What's more likely, SVG winning a cup championship in his first year at Hendrick in 2027, or him needing 2 full seasons to adapt? Because I've got a hot take loaded up for the next video. that's going to absolutely divide this community. And I want to see which side you're on before I drop it. Stoked you stuck around. Flag in the comments, subscribe if you haven't, and remember in NASCAR Nation Decoded, we don't follow the story, we decode it.